Hello everybody and welcome to the final lesson in this series on sampling and normal distribution. Today we're going to be finishing off the topic looking at comparing z-scores. So we've learnt how to find z-scores using the formula up here, and we've learned how to calculate z-scores. Today we're focusing on calculating z-scores to compare scores from different data sets. Okay, so the other goals earlier we've addressed in other ones, but they're still a part of what we're doing here, so I've left them in. Fantastic. So the first question is, why can we use z-scores to compare scores for different normal distributions? Okay, and the reason we can do that is because they don't actually depend on the value of the mean. Okay, because they don't depend on the value of the mean. And that's really important to think about. So it is true that they require a mean to calculate, but they don't depend on that value alone, and that's really important. Okay, so let's have a look at the first example. We're only going to do 2 examples, and then you can have a go at some questions in your textbook. But the first question is, Janine scored 82 in her physics exam and 78 in her chemistry exam. In physics, the mean was 62 and the standard deviation 10, while in chemistry, the mean was 66 and the standard deviation 5. The first part of the question says, write both results as a standardized score. Standardized score is another name for z-score. Okay, so that's important as well, that you need to know what that means. So what we're going to do is we're going to work out the z-scores for both subjects. So physics, the z-score is going to be 82, that was what she got, minus the average out of the standard deviation. And then for chemistry, similar thing, different numbers. She got 78 and the average was 66 and the standard deviation was 5. You'll notice also in the question they've shown 2 different ways of representing standard deviation, one with a S, one with a sigma n. Okay, so you need to be familiar with what they mean. Okay, so physics z-score was 2 and the chemistry z-score was 2.4. Now the question in part B is, which is the better result? And explain your answer. And it kind of says the answer here actually. So the one with the higher z-score is the better result. So we're going to say chemistry was the better result. As the z-score is 0.4 higher. Okay, so that's kind of really important. Okay, the next bit is a multiple choice question. These are always good to look at. So it says the table below shows the mean and the standard deviation in 4 subjects. There they are: English, Maths, Bio, Geography. It says Kelly's marks were 66 in English, 70 in Maths, 50 in Biology, and Geography 55. The question is, in which subject did she achieve her best result? So there's a couple of different ways to do this. You could look at the standard deviation in relation to the mean, but the easiest way to actually do it would be to work out the z-scores for all of them. So I'll just add on a little table here, little column, sorry, and fill in the z-scores. So you don't really need to show working, but you'd basically be typing in your calculator for English 66 minus 60 over 12 and working that out. For maths, a similar thing, so you'd be doing 70 take away 65 over 8, and you do that for every single subject, and you would get the z-score. So I'll fill in the z-scores. You make sure that you know how to get them. But what you'll find is the one with the best z-score was actually English. It's got the highest z-score, okay? But make sure you guys can get that yourself. That's really important. Fantastic, and that's actually the end of this topic, going through some questions. Please make sure you do write down your summary points. Any questions you want to ask me next time, have a go at the exercise, show the same working. Make sure you write judgments and conclusions. And, make sure you're not doing the same level of homework every time as well. Even if you want to do a couple from each, mild, medium, and spicy, that's probably a good idea too. Before you come back to class, make sure you have filled out the learning goals and self-assessment section, and bring any questions that you have. But that is the end of our topic on sampling and the normal distribution. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys.